What is going on, guys? I'm back, and as you can see, I'm home. You know how the last video I made, it was on, I uploaded on Sunday. It was meant for Saturday, but I had to upload it on Sunday. Said I was going home on Monday, and with the outpatient chemo, well, there's a delay to it because ever since that Thursday they hooked up the home pump for me at the hospital, it's been leaking. It would leak after every 24 hours out of the filter because for some reason they had filters on them to, I guess, help with the like the air bubbles that it causes. But after every 24 hours they have a filter like this big, and all the big bags at the hospital that they put you on, like the big IV pole that I gotta lug around, that's on wheels, they have a filter that's like this big, like a rectangle, but they don't leak. It only leaked once because it was actually cracked. I don't know how, but it never leaked every other time. Not this time or the first month I was in there on it. So, but this new tubing that they were using had a little baby filter, and I guess it was from the same manufacturer. I do not know, but after every 24 hours it would start leaking and a little bit out of the filter. So their priority was not to have it to leak because it's chemo. Well, it's not chemo, but they do their protocol like it's chemo, so they have the whole spill kit and stuff. But they didn't want to send me home on it while it's leaking, so they tried every single day since that Thursday. It would leak after a day or 23 hours. So pretty much they took me off the pump, or yeah, the home pump, on Monday, or the day I was supposed to go home. And they researched and found another manufacturer, because since they found out it's only the filter that was leaking and the filter was the problem, they found another manufacturer that made a chemo line that would fit in this home pump, and it didn't have a filter. And then they found out that they don't really need a filter for this. They can have a filter or not have a filter. So the lady at the hospital who's in charge of this home pump stuff and this outpatient chemo stuff, she drove herself instead of waiting for like UPS or whatever to go and deliver all the tubing to the hospital, which could have taken days. She drove herself all the way to Virginia Beach, and I guess picked up a whole box full of them. So since she picked up a whole full box, hopefully, like, when I go in a clinic and get the bag changed and new wires, it's always going to be this tubing. So, but it should be, because that was the issue from the old tubing, was the filter, and they still have a tubing on it. But the best thing is that I am home from the hospital. I'm going to be home for like 3 weeks, all in total. I will be on this chemo. Today's the 17th, I believe. I'm not sure. Or the 18th. I'm not sure. What is it? That's 2014. That's a 2017 calendar. 15, 13, 16. Yeah, we don't have a calendar for 19. But it's one of these days. And so I'll be on there till the 25th, I believe. 25th or 26th, I'll be on this chemo at home. Hopefully with no issues at all. So, and then after that, I will have a bone marrow aspiration to see what the numbers are, and see if I'm still MRD negative. And then after that, then we will go down to Duke on the 5th for 2 weeks for testing. No chemo, they said, just testing. I don't know what that's going to be like, but everything should be fine. And then we will find out what we need to do then. But just wanted to update you guys on that. And I was, when I came home, I was so happy. I'm gonna sit down a little bit, all right? When I came home, I was so happy and everything to be home. And as soon as I got home, 5 minutes, my grandma called me at 7 o'clock, which was very unusual. Because when I'm in the hospital, she calls around noon and 8:30 or 8:45 at night, and she was calling really early. And I missed her phone call because I didn't hear the phone. I was in the other room, so I called her back, see what was up, and she was upset and emotional, and I already knew what was going on. My dog over there, that was her and my dog, who was 15 years old. He had another seizure, and he kept on having the seizures, and his body was shutting down, and it put him into a coma. And he was in a coma. He didn't know what he was doing. His eyes were dilated. When you shine a light in his eyes, they would not dilate too little. They would just stay big. So his eyes were dilated, and he was not moving. He had no control over his body. He was just either sitting there, breathe heavily, and just laying there, or he would start seizing. But he was 15 years old. I got him when I was like 4, and he's been a great dog. So she had to make the decision. She didn't want to. She really wanted him to just go peacefully during the night, but usually dogs won't do that. Usually they'll go through great pain before they will actually go without by themselves. So you would have to make that decision. But I went over there. I bugged my parents one of them to take me over there because I can't drive. I signed a contract that I'm not allowed to drive while on this chemo. So my dad took me over there, and we went over there and petted him. He was just sitting there, and he would be there just laying there, just staring, like he was just staring at something, but he was not blinking. Then we thought he was coming out of the coma and the seizures, but like he licked a little bit, tried to look for some water for a little bit, and he was blinking and closing his eyes and stuff. We thought he was going to come out, but then as soon as we thought he was going to come out, he had another seizure, and he started kicking and flaring his head around and squalling. So we went over there and petted him and said my goodbyes to him. This morning at 8 o'clock, they went to the vet and they put him down. So good thing is like, they say when you're in a coma, you can't feel anything. You don't feel pain or nothing. You're just stuck in your own mind. But you can't feel anything. So, he had another big seizure when they put him in the car and got him out of the car at the vet. They put him on the table there, and while they were waiting for the doctors and stuff, he just fell asleep. So he was sleeping, so he was calm and peaceful, and he was just asleep while they came in and did what they have to do, gave him the shot, checked his heart rate, and he went off. So kind of not the news I wanted to come home with, but I'm glad I'm home, but I'm not. But it's like, it's not like a good news as soon as I came home, as you would say. But that's what happens with animals. You get them, you get attached to them after a couple of years, and when they go, they get emotional. But people say when animals die and you get emotional because of it, it's supposed to prepare you for when somebody that you know, a person that you know, passes away. It's supposed to mentally prepare you for that, but you can't really mentally prepare, because anybody you know, animal or human being that you've been attached to and you've known for and you've seen for a long time, it's going to make you upset when you look at them. But this video is just pretty much saying I'm home and on his chemo, can't drive, just gonna be chilling here for the next 2 weeks, I think it is. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, links below, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.